he lifted the side of the car up off the ground. Like the tires came up off the ground. And then he dropped it down and he walked over. He goes, yeah, I could do that. The idea for New Japan World, I pitched to President Sugabayashi.
Word?
Long before it became a reality. I had a meeting with Sugabayashi.
Another day, another dollar as a holler to the world. I love the way I'm living, love the Gucci, love the girls, love the parties and the clubs, love the models and hot tubs, love the German engineering set on deep dish dubs. Another tour around the world, entertaining the fans. I love walking through the airport, taking pictures, shaking hands. Every day for me's an oyster, crack it open, find a pearl. I love the way I live is what I holler to the world.
Welcome back to Marking Out with MVP and Dwayne Swayze.
I'm still MVP.
I'm still Dwayne Swayze. How you doing today, man?
I'm actually all right, man. You know, it was a late night last night.
Yes, sir.
But I'm okay. And my body keeps saying, like, bro, we just turned 52. What are we doing? We still doing late nights out. We still drinking single malt scotch all night and smoking intense, high caliber weed from the Pacific Northwest. Yes, we are.
Right on. Anything else wouldn't be MVP.
It wouldn't be MVP. I like the way I live. And if you're paying attention, you notice I'm wearing a Christopher Cross t-shirt today. I didn't feel like suits. I got to bring the suits back. That's signature. We'll get back to it. But, you know, some Sunday mornings I wake up and I got the podcast to do and I'm still smelling like Macallan 18 coming out my pores. But so I figured today is just t-shirt day.
Right on.
But Houston's own fellow Houstonian.
Right. And I didn't know this. I had to get schooled earlier.
Christopher Cross. As a matter of fact, there's a great video of him in the early 80s standing on stage playing his guitar wearing an Earl Campbell jersey.
Oh, fire.
Yeah,
Okay.
the old Houston Oilers.
Right on.
Sky Blue.
So-
Earl Campbell used to be my favorite running back then, too.
For those that don't know Christopher Cross's music, do you want to give him a rendition of one of
Oh,
them?
yeah. No, you know Christopher Cross's music. You know it. You might not know that you know it. You might not know the name, but you know the music. Because, of course, there's Sailing Takes Me Away to Where I've Always Needed to Be.
Hey, that was pitch perfect this time, man.
The pitch is all right, man. I just got to work on, actually, I think if I actually went to a vocal coach, I might be able to sing a little bit, man.
Did Hank III ever get you anything?
No,
Okay.
I haven't reached out.
Okay.
Did you reached out?
Yeah, but I haven't heard anything back.
Oh, man, I'd love to hear from Hank III, man.
So, because that sounded like whatever it was he was going to tell you is working already, right?
Yeah. I don't know, man. But yeah, Christopher Cross, right? Oh, wait. Ride Like the Wind. That's the joint right there. And it just starts with that wind. And the bass and the piano comes in. Doom, doom, doom. Doom, 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 doom. Christopher Cross says, it is the night, my body's weak. I'm on the run, no time to sleep. I gotta ride like the wind to be free again. And I've got such a long way to go. Cue Michael McDonald. Long way to go. Make it to the border of Mexico. So I ride like the wind. Ride like the wind. Doo-dum, doom, doom, doom. You know that song. Yeah, so we're doing Christopher Cross right now. I'm a big Christopher Cross fan. Oh, also, when you get caught between the moon and New York City, I know it's crazy, but it's true. You know that one?
No.
You never heard that one? For real?
No,
when
no.
you get caught between the moon and New York City, the best that you can do is fall in love. That was from Arthur, like a movie in like 1982 starring Dudley Moore. Yeah, I'm old, dog. I'm aging myself out of our viewership right now.
You got to drop a comment, guys, and let Mr. MVP here know what you guys think about his singing. And if y'all know the songs. So what is Arthur?
Arthur was a movie.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a motion picture starring Dudley Moore, and that was the When You Get Caught Between the Moon and New York City was this is from the soundtrack, the signature.
So Christopher Cross must have been going crazy to have soundtrack.
Oh no! When Christopher Cross came out, the year he dropped this album, he did the sweep. Like his first album first came out, he was 20-some years old. I don't remember exactly, but I know he had Album of the Year. He was Artist of the Year. I think Song of the Year. And whatever the other one, like the four main of the year, he swept that. But then was never able to replicate that success. And a lot of people said, like, what do you do after that? When you come out and you're so, I mean, he's had a career. He still tours and writes and produces and, but, and oddly enough, he's one of the few that I've never seen live. I got to see Christopher Cross, man. Especially if I can see him here in Houston. That would be really cool.
Oh, right on, right on.
Christopher Cross in Houston. But that's a little yacht rock for you. Oh, shout out to my boys at the Yacht or Yacht podcast. That's where the guys who made the term yacht rock, they have a podcast. And if you pay on their Patreon, which sign up to our Patreon, and you can send in questions.
Yeah, pinned link in the description.
People submit songs to them to say, is this yacht rock? So the four guys who are on the show, it's Hunter, Dave, Hollywood Steve, and JD. They invented the term yacht rock. And there are certain qualifications to be considered a yacht rock song. So they decide what goes on the boat. Is it on the boat? If it's 50 or above, it's on the boat. So is it yacht or yacht?
Or yacht.
So Christopher Cross is one of the, yacht rock OGs. So yeah, Yacht and Yacht podcast. Check them out if you like yacht rock. If you saw the documentary, Hollywood Steve Huey, he's one of the guys on the team. I met those guys, good guys. Dave Lyons, one day on the podcast, he said if you come to one of their events, he'll buy you a beer, maybe two if you don't suck. Dave Lyons bought me 2 beers.
Oh, right on.
He bought me 2 of them.
Right on.
Now those guys are cool, but yeah. So that's what we're talking about. Some yacht rock. Shall I pour?
Yeah.
We talk a little wrestling.
Yeah. What you pouring up here, man?
Today we're gonna drink something called Monkey Shoulder. I'm gonna take the shades off for this one because these lights are bright. And it's a blended malt Scotch whiskey. And man, I need my. You know what? I'm coming to terms with the reality of life. Okay, I got a whole lot of Just for Men in here. My shit is white. All right. It is. Watch, one day I'm going to mess you all up and I'm going to do the Kevin Nash. And I'm just going to show up with my shit all white. And you'll be, oh my God, yes, I've been painting this shit for years. And I've come to the acceptance that I need readers now. And I don't carry them with me all the time. And I have these moments where I'm trying to read this shit and I'm like, oh, that's what I used to see old people doing that shit, now I have to do that. And I don't have readers. So I can't tell you exactly where Monkey Shoulder comes from. I don't know, can you see?
Hold on a second. I'm not much younger than you, man, so no, I don't see anything out here.
But I got a good Monkey Shoulder story.
Scotland. Oh, down at the bottom.
So it is Scottish?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Monkey Shoulder. The first time I had this Monkey Shoulder, I was in England. I don't remember where in England. I just remember sitting with Mark Henry.
Okay.
And we were sitting at the bar. And Mark Henry started drinking later in life. Like, he never drank. And it's funny because when he gets a few drinks in him, his eyes disappear. Like, he's got, his eyelids turning to slits. You can't even see his eyes. And, Mark Henry and I were tag team partners. We rode together. We got to be very good friends. And once Mark got into his drinking phase and started to drink a little bit, and he would never be out of control, thank God. Thank all the wrestling gods. Because a drunk, out of control Mark Henry, they don't have enough tasers on the idiot police. That man would do some damage drunk. And side note, one night in Italy, drunk, walking back to the hotel, the whole street was lined up with like these little 2-door hatchbacks. like tiny little cars, you know. And I made the joke. I said, "Hey, Mark, wouldn't it be funny if you just flipped over a bunch of these cars and we went in the hotel and people just woke up one day and come downstairs and see like 6 cars flipped over on the side?" And he laughed about it. And then Mark went over and squatted down and got one hand up underneath the rear bumper of one of the hatch. Oh, no. Was it? Or did he get 2 hands? I just remember one of those little hatchbacks, which was almost as big as he was. He squatted down, and I watched him do this. He lifted the side of the car up off the ground. Like the tires came up off the ground. And then he dropped it down, and he walked over. He goes, "Yeah, I could do that." And he could. Yeah. I watched him lift the tires up like, yo, a drunk Mark Henry would be bad for business, dude. But Mark was sitting at the bar and said, "P, we wouldn't be men if we leave this bar and don't try that whiskey right there that says Monkey Shoulder." And I looked at it and I thought, Monkey Shoulder? What the fuck is Monkey Shoulder? But I agree. I agree. As men, our duty is to drink that Monkey Shoulder and find out. I never heard of Monkey Shoulder. And we tried Monkey Shoulder and decided that we liked it quite a bit. And then it kind of became a little bit of a ritual with me, my mate Alan over in England. It was at Wembley after an Impact show where me, Alan, and Vikram, we polished off like 2 bottles of Monkey Shoulder. The one that they had to go back and get another one. And that was a rough night. Alan woke up in my room, sleeping underneath my desk, and had all my MVP jewelry on. And I was in my bed, knocked out. And we were going to see Arsenal play that day. And we were like, should we go? Like, this might be a mistake. No, we're going to go. And we went. And it's funny because we were in the cab on the way to Emirates. And we just looked at each other and we were like, this might have been a bad idea. But we went. We went to that wonderful library, Emirates, where it's so quiet because everybody's too cool to cheer. But I will say this. It was Arsenal against Crystal Palace. The Palace fans, see, they're the lower income. You know, they're not one of the big money teams. And if you're a Palace fan, like that's a real working class around the way club. Okay. And all the stadiums have a home and away. And the traveling team gets their own section and they put security, like, because the soccer hooligans shit used to be real bad. So you can't, unlike here in the States, you can wear an Eagles jersey and sit in the Dallas section. You can't do that in the UK. They won't let you. It's against the rules for you to have a competing club shirt on in the other section. Emirates, beautiful, big money stadium. Arsenal's a major club. And when Arsenal would do well, Arsenal, the Ars is doing well. Ta-ta. But Palace, the whole time, they had a drummer, they had shirts off, and they were the whole game. Palace was making noise. I said, see, man, and they were a small section. Their traveling crew small, but they were making the most noise. They were holding down the arena. And I thought to myself, I heard somebody else refer to Emirates as a library. And now I get it. Yeah. I get it. Yeah. Tea and crumpets, all the posh lads. Fuck off. So Monkey Shoulder. It's got like these 3 little monkeys up here. It's like a little attachment. And me, Alan, and Vic started this thing that when we were over there, we drank Monkey Shoulder. Every time we polish off a bottle, we'd ask the bartender to pop off the monkeys. And I had a collection. I don't know where it's at now. I think Alan still has a couple. Vic might have 1 or 2, but we started a collection of the monkeys just for every bottle we polished off. And
are we gonna finish this one today?
We might. we might. If you guys watch, you notice the bottle starts off up here, and by the 3rd episode, The bottle's way down here. And the name Monkey Shoulder, I had to look it up because like that was intriguing to me. Like Monkey Shoulder,
Yeah.
where does a name like that come from? So here's a little history lesson for you. In the making of whiskey, they have barley that has to ferment, and they had a job specifically called Malt Men, and it was their job to take a shovel and constantly turn the malt. And what would happen is, from doing this for over years, at some point or another, there would be damage to the shoulder
Oh.
that would cause one arm to hang lower than the other. And they dubbed that monkey shoulder.
Oh, right on. Okay.
So this bottle, this whiskey, is named in honor of the malt men that would turn over the malt constantly and that would develop monkey shoulder. So we're going to join the tribute, raise our glasses to those men who sacrificed their health so that we could drink well. Now, while I pour this, I advise you at home, pour yourself a glass of something, whatever you like. Like I said, we're drinking this blended scotch. Pour yourself a glass of Kool-Aid, milk and cookies, roll one up, pack a bowl, whatever it is you like to do. Relax, enjoy us as we journey upon this road called wrestling. Because Dwayne got some questions and I got some answers.
In New Japan, if your partner doesn't speak much English, how do you lay out the match and call it in the ring?
In New Japan, specifically, because I worked there. A little bit of a flex. First ever IWGP Intercontinental Champion. Check the record, the history books. On my way to becoming the first ever IWGP Intercontinental Champion, I beat two young men who would go on to become aces for New Japan Pro Wrestling. The first person I beat in that tournament was a young man named Kazuchika Okada. Yeah, MVP beat Okada. Yes, he did. And then I went on to beat Naito. And then to finish that out, I beat Toru Yano to become the first ever IWGP Intercontinental Champion. Look that shit up. Anyway, my friend and mentor, Dave Johnson, wrestled in Japan back in the day. All Japan he was with, the Blackhearts, with tag team. And he told me that in Japan, they might not speak English, but they speak wrestling.
Oh, all right.
And that's one of the things that I love about professional wrestling, and I've said it many times. Lucha Libre is different because in Mexico, in pro wrestling, we're taught to do everything on the left side. So if you notice, when guys are beating something up, it's always the left arm. It's always the left side of the body.
Why?
I'm not exactly sure who started that, but it's just the foundation of wrestling, Pro Wrestling 101. You lock up and take a headlock. If I take your arm, it's the left arm. If I'm working your leg, it's the left leg.
Okay.
Now you can deviate from it, but generally, that's where you see the control and everything done from the left side. And Lucha Libre, in Mexico, they do everything on the right side. So it's the exact opposite. So if you're an international worker, then you learn to be able to work with Mexican guys. That doesn't faze you. I was fortunate that Norman Smiley, who was the CMLL heavyweight champion for a while in Mexico as Black Magic, he taught me before I started really getting out there, like some stuff the Mexican way, Lucha Libre way, Lucha Libre. So I would actually, before I ever started traveling and blowing up, trying to do things from the right side, the Lucha way, just so I could be prepared if it comes.
Right on.
And there's a lot of Lucha Libre influence in Japanese wrestling, but they do everything pretty much on the left side. If you're working Lucha style, they adjust. They understand that. Most of the guys speak functional English, especially enough English to put together a match.
Okay.
If you have a big match and one of the Japanese guys doesn't speak English comfortably enough, then I remember a few times where Jado or Gedo would be there to translate to help, you know. But basic professional wrestling, they understand. But, you know, you might call this a clothesline, they call it a lariato, lariat, Stan Hansen. Body English is the same. Like if I shoot you into the rope and you're coming off and I turn this way with my arm here, I don't have to tell you hip toss. You see by how I'm positioning. And I know if I see you positioning that way, I come in, I'm going to take a hip toss. If I come up feet around and I see you like this, I'm going to feed for an arm drag. These are things that you just know. You don't have to communicate once you get to a certain level. Body language, certain looks, you know. But if you do have like a long match and you might have like a complicated finish with, you know, a few false finishes in there, then you've got guys that speak English that can translate, you know, to make sure everybody's clear on that. But once you get to calling it in the ring, that's a little bit more difficult. So in Japan, a lot of the guys, I never had shit laid out step by step by step by step by step. Like the match I had with Masato Tanaka for the IWGP Intercontinental title at the Sumo Hall. We had that kind of laid out a little bit more. Match I had with Makabe, because he speaks some English, but I remember Gedo helped translate that so we could be on page. Because as funny as it is, when I went to New Japan, like that was my dream to wrestle in New Japan. And I always say this, and people who've known me for a long time know it's not shade, it's not a slight, but WWE was always my goal. Like wrestling at WrestleMania was a goal. Wrestling for New Japan at Wrestle Kingdom was a dream. So when I got there, I knew all the guys. And, you know, through the years, you'd have a lot of American wrestlers who, you know, maybe got fired from an American company and then went to Japan and worked there for a while, but weren't familiar with Japanese wrestling. I was intimately familiar.
Okay.
Thousands of hours of tape watching. So when I got there, I knew who everybody was. I knew everybody's name. I knew because I watched the shit. I liked that shit, you know? So I think Makabe was pleasantly surprised when we're putting the match together, and there was one point where I suggested one of his moves.
Oh, okay. You know his stuff.
I know his shit, yeah. And he looked, you know? I said, Makabe-san, I know. And he just kind of, okay, like, oh, maybe this guy Gene's all right, you know? Because you get guys that, like I said, got fired and they come over there, they don't know anybody, and, you know, they feel like they're better because they might have been on TV in America. And then maybe they were, you know, in terms of star power, bigger than the guys in New Japan. But now you're in New Japan. You gotta rise up because these people don't know you. Like in Japan, they watch American wrestling, but you have some wrestling fans in Japan that they don't watch WWE. They only watch New Japan or All Japan. So they've heard of John Cena. They know he's a big deal, but John Cena can't beat Tanahashi. You know what I'm saying? So you got to go over there and prove yourself all over again. And them boys work. They work. And one of the things that always enamored me to the Japanese style is the physicality of it. Like you ain't watching Japanese wrestling and going, oh, that's fake.
Yeah, strong style.
That strong style. And that shit's coming, man. You know, them fucking lariats and forearms and whatnot. So you got to step your work rate up. You can't go over there and not be in shape because you're going to go out there and you got to put that output, you know. And to summarize, calling it in the ring, as long as it's basic and simple, you can't call too much complicated shit in the ring with people who don't speak English. But as long as you know the basic terms, Like if I shoot a guy in and say clothesline, he might not know clothesline. But if I say lariato, he knows lariat.
Right.
And he knows to feed for the big clothesline. So little things like that you can do, you can call, but if it's like a big pay-per-view match or like a major TV match, they usually, if the guys aren't comfortable with their English, they'll usually want to lay things out a little bit more. So in between the big stuff, you know, whoever's in charge, like if I'm a heel and you're the face and you're selling for me, I don't have to talk to you while I'm getting heat on you. You just sell. And whatever I want you to do, I'll tell you. You know, I'll say, fight, fight, fight. You start to fight back, you know. Then I'll turn it up on you, lariat. I'll shoot you in, boom, you know, and bring it back down. So most of the guys in New Japan speak English well enough that if you're in a pinch, you can call shit on the fly.
And what about the ref?
Red Shoes, the legendary New Japan. He always wore red boots, red shoes. He speaks English very well.
Okay.
So he's somebody that there was a couple other referees over there that spoke English. Some didn't. There was one ref. I can't think of his name now. I think Mickey, little short dude. He drove the big bus too. It was funny. The big New Japan tour bus. It's a little itty bitty dude would drive that, and he would yoke that bitch too. But one day I had on a T-shirt in English. It said, "Do you know why?" And the back said, "Because I'm MVP." Somebody gave it to me as a gift. And he walks up to me and he looks at my shirt. "Do you know why?" Nani. In Japanese, what's that? So what do you mean, what's that? You just read it. Wakarenai. I don't understand. You just read the shit in perfect English. Then it dawned on me, in school in Japan, they teach English. And especially in Tokyo, if you grow up in the greater Tokyo area, you have an English foundation in class. A lot of them recognize English characters and they can read the words. They just don't know what they mean.
So being able to understand or the context.
Right. And I learned that when I started studying Japanese. I had the, what was it, the stone,
Rosetta Stone.
Rosetta Stone. And it's a really good way to learn another language, especially if you're trying to learn characters to read and write, because it incorporates pictures and everyday use. And I started to recognize, like when we're driving down the street, now I can recognize characters, and I'm starting to read certain words are making sense to me. You know, like I was in the Subway sandwich shop right across the street from the Tokyo Dome Hotel where we used to stay. And I was in there one day, I was going to get my usual turkey sub, you know, my fucking bodybuilder workout shit. And I'm looking at the menu, and it was like I was a little kid learning how to read. I see the characters that I can recognize, and I'm going, Oishi. Oishi! Oishi! And these people in the subway, these little Japanese people looking at this big gaijin just screaming, "Delicious! Delicious!"
Delicious.
And they're looking at me like, I said, "Oh, go on the side, go on the side. Nihongo wa," I said, "Nihongo wa hanasimasu. Yukkuri manandemasu." I said, "I don't speak Japanese, but I'm slowly learning." And then,
right on.
And I was like a little kid, because I'm like, "Oh, that says Oishi. Oh, I'm learning, I'm figuring it out." You know? So then I realized how, okay, there are certain characters that I can read, I know the sound, and I can figure out what the word is, but I don't know the word.
Right on.
So that was a cool little thing. But yeah, the refs, some of them, and then now, you got guys that are champions over there now that when I was there were young boys doing my laundry. You know, they've come up through the cycle.
Wow.
So they're not young boys anymore. They're the stars now. So who knows what kind of personnel changeover they've had from the time I was there till now.
And how long were you there?
2 years.
Okay.
Yeah, I went to New Japan for 2 years. And I remember I brought Shelton over to be my tag team partner.
And that's where y'all came out to Gedo Strong Style.
Yep.
Streaming everywhere, by the way. Check it out.
Strong Style. And then I remember it was 2 years, and I told Shelton, I said, hey, I think I'm done here. I just need a break from wrestling. I just tapped out on wrestling for a while. And Shelton was like, okay, well, I said, you're going to be fine. Because you don't need me. They like you a lot. When they like Shelton. Shelton came over there and started doing his thing, and they like Shelton a lot. I said, so you don't need me as a tag partner. I said, now, if it's an issue, of course I'll stay. But if I ask for my, let them know I'm going to walk. And it's exactly what I thought. I told them that I gave my notice. I said, after Wrestle Kingdom, I want to finish. Really? I said, yeah, I'm done. I want to take time off from wrestling. I said, maybe go back to WWE, maybe. But right now, I just need time off. And I'm like, oh, okay, MVP, son. And it was after that Wrestle Kingdom, I think I've told this before, that on 1960, there was a Gracie Baja MMA school. And I'd ride past that shit all the time. And I would always say, one day, I'm going to go in there one day. And it was the week after I came back from Wrestle Kingdom. I remember I was looking at the sign, and I said, one day is today. I pulled in, and I found out what the rates were and the class times and everything, and I paid Japanese cash. That shit the bills are so sharp, like it'll cut your finger. And back when I was going over there, I was getting paid cash. So I'd be coming home with tens of thousands of dollars of cash, trying to get through and not report it. Can't catch me now. It's too late. Uncle Scam. But I'd always be...
Shaka. Again, Uncle Scam. Beautiful. There's the artwork.
But I'd always be sweating when I came back through customs, because if they find the money, they're going to take it, seize it. And then you got to... But those $100 bills came straight from the bank. Like they printed them that morning, crisp. And I paid for 1 year in advance. I said, here's cash. And they gave me a cash discount for cash. 1 year, got my gi, and I started my jiu-jitsu journey. I took time off from wrestling, and all I did for that year was just jiu-jitsu. And I don't regret a second of it. It was all worked out well. But yeah, and New Japan was just an amazing experience for me. It's everything I'd ever dreamed of. Like I wanted to be a featured wrestler in Japan. And one of the coolest things, man, I talk about visualization and seeing things come to fruition. The things I've been able to do in my life that were once a vision and became a reality because I saw it, I envisioned it, I saw it, I willed it into existence, I did the work. I had always dreamed of being a foreign wrestler in Japan, but being respected and accepted in the Japanese wrestling culture. And getting off the train one day at the train station, and I started to walk away. I'm lying to you. Getting on the train, all the trains were covered with G1 Climax advertisements. And on the side of the train, on the doors was MVP with my gear, my jacket and everything, my chains. And I'm looking at that and I'm like, all right, I did it. I'm here. I'm in Japan. I'm on a train. My picture is on the side of a train, seen by who knows how many hundreds of thousands of people a day. And my first G1 Climax, man. That was like...
Let me ask you about, what surprised you most about your first New Japan Pro Wrestling G1 Climax run?
The schedule. When I used to go to New Japan, it was so dope because going from WWE to New Japan was a culture shock in many ways. WWE, you're on the road for 52 weeks a year. The only time you get off is if you get hurt. There's no asking for time off, none of that bullshit, Unless you and if you're sick, like you gotta go to work and let them see you sick and then send you home. That's how it was when I was there.
Yeah.
Santino was sick as a dog. He tried to call in, like, hey, I can't make it this weekend. And like, no, the fuck you.
But it's not like y'all are driving to an office down the street. You got to get on a plane.
Right.
That's crazy.
That's how it was back then.
That's crazy.
And the doctor got to look at you and see you and be like, yeah, we're gonna send you back home, man. You know. And Santino tried to call in. Yeah, I'm sick this weekend. No, that's not gonna work for me, brother. But the schedule over there, I would go to Japan. He'd fly me out, and I'd be there for like 2 weeks, and then I'd go back home for 2-3 weeks. I'd come, you know, sometimes if it was like certain pay-per-views, I remember they flew me and Shelton out just for one pay-per-view, and flew us right back.
Really?
But typically, I'd be there for a few weeks, and then be home for a few weeks. But the G1 Climax tour, they asked me because there wasn't a lot of turnaround time, and then they asked me if I'd be okay with staying for the full 6 weeks. To which, of course, I said yes. But I had 6 weeks of hotel life, like just living in hotels, and the schedule when they make the brackets, you know, for who has to wrestle and what nights.
Oh, so you guys are traveling. You're not in one location.
No, yeah. For the whole time, those G1 matches are spread out across the island chain. So you're doing those G1 matches in different cities, and you're working several nights a week, which I was conditioned to.
Yeah, that should have been nothing for you.
Yeah, but the work rate.
Oh.
It's G1. So you got to bring your shit every night. There's no nights off on the G1 tour. You know, you're not like, hey, we'll take it easy tonight. No, it's G1. You know, so you got to really bring your shit. So I think the thing that surprised me the most about it was the schedule, because those bus rides are long, man. And I said all the time, traveling is one of the most difficult things about doing this shit. And if you don't travel frequently, then you don't really understand. You say, yeah, so what? You sit on a plane for a few hours. But when you're beating the shit out of your body for a living,
yeah,
and now you got to sit on this plane, and this, especially if you're not, you know, lucky enough to have first class accommodations. Now you're in this coach seat, and you're flying for 3-4 hours. And
cramped body.
Your body's all stiff, and who knows, maybe you got a sore hip, your back isn't the best. And then now you got to get off the plane, acclimate yourself, you know, get to a building, do your stretches and your warm up, and then go out there and get into a series of small car accidents on the match.
Right on.
Then afterwards, cool off, and and then you're back on another plane. Or in Japan, the bus ride. Booker T was the one that told me, he said, "Man, I know you love Japan, brother, but wait till you be on bus rides a little bit, because they're long bus rides."
Like how long?
It depends on what that tour is, but man, sometimes you might spend 8 hours on the bus, going from one part of Japan to another.
And I'm thinking about, AEW, WWE, what I've seen. Is this like a luxurious bus?
I wouldn't call it luxurious, but it's your standard like motor coach kind of Greyhound type bus.
Okay. So you don't have a bed?
No, absolutely not. No bed. And everybody got their assigned seats,
Oh, okay.
I've been sitting in this seat for however many years, Most of the Gaijin boys would sit in the back of the bus. That was cool. They gave me a little space back there. I used to sit next to Baldo, Giant Bernardo, Jason Albert at NXT. He runs the program.
Prince Albert, right?
Prince Albert, yeah. Great dude, real cool. Matt Bloom.
Okay, right on.
He was super cool, man, when I got over there. Like I had met him before, just in passing. One day he was backstage, and a mutual friend gave me his number, and I asked him if I could call him, just hit him up. I just asked him for just some shit I should be aware of, or and he gave me the rundown, and he said, "Hey, if you need anything, feel free to give me a call." And when I got over there, he and I hit it off right away. Him and Chad, Machine Gun Carl Anderson, and it was super cool. So we would sit in the back of the bus playing Scrabble for these, these countless hours and shit. And there were some times that some of the boys, instead of getting on that bus, they would take the bullet train to the next town. So
that's out of your pocket.
Yeah, Yeah. But I didn't mind it. Now I could go 2 hours on a bullet train or 7 hours on the bus. Tenzan, you bullet train? Like ride with you? You know, like yeah, Masato, not Masato Tanaka. With one time I caught the bullet train with Tenzan. Another time I caught the bullet train with Yuji Nagata. You know, some of the top guys sometimes would just take a train instead of the bus.
And there's no flying option?
Sometimes, yeah.
Okay.
I've been flown before too. But usually they do, you're here, you're at the auditorium, you finish your matches, and you get right on the bus, and the bus is off to the next spot. And the only place you might stop is, as they say, convenience store. Which in Japan, it's a whole nother, convenience store is a completely different thing from what we think of here. Like when I first got there, again, Matt Bloom teaching me the ropes. I was like, yeah, we eat on the road here quite a bit. He said, but the convenience stores in Japan are not like the US. He said, like, the food here is good. Because, you know, here in the States, we make a joke about like gas station sushi.
Yeah.
Like, do you really want to? But over there, like convenience store sushi is good. You can eat it. Like the food that they have in Lawson's is a popular chain. They have a 7-Eleven over there.
Oh, right.
But you wouldn't recognize it. You'd recognize the colors in the name, but just how the
No hot dogs.
no hot dogs. But they got Japanese cuisine, you know, so they'll have like these. I used to get these all the time, like these chicken bites. I like the spicy ones. They'd be up there like hot. Rice balls, lots of like Japanese stuff. But they also in the cooler, they'd have all kinds of like fresh food that you can heat up or that's hot or whatever. And I remember being skeptical at first of like, man, you guys eat this shit? And I'm like, no, this is Japan. Shit's different over here. You can eat this food. I never got sick from anything I ate
Right on.
over there. Never. I'm trying to think what else, man. So ultimately, here's another thing too. I remember all those tapes that I watched through the years. The G1 Climax happens during the summer, so they issue sweatpants and a T-shirt. It's like a kit, and G1 Climax. And I remember getting my first kit when they gave it to me, and I'm like, I've seen this on videos, man.
I know that had to be special, man.
I got one. And Wrestle Kingdom, my first Wrestle Kingdom, they give you the warm-up suits, the New Japan warm-up suits. And again, as somebody who's very goal-oriented, I set goals for myself and I try to achieve them. I remember watching those old VHS tapes of New Japan and Wrestle Kingdom and seeing all the guys around the ring with the warm-up suits and thinking, I'm going to get one of those one day. But I only want it if I'm wrestling there,
Right.
and I don't want to buy one.
Right on.
I want them to give me one. And when they asked me my size, you know, I need your size for Wrestle Kingdom suit. Oh yes. I think for you guys, I'm a 3X. And yeah, getting that first sweatsuit, that New Japan sweatsuit, and putting that on, it's like, yeah, I'm really fucking here, man. I'm here. But I still got, I think, 2 or 3 of them in my closet. I break them out every now and again. This time of the year, it's good for them. Maybe I'll break them a few out.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
Some future episodes. But I went on the Jericho cruise the first time, and I saw some tall, skinny dude wearing a New Japan warm-up suit. And I walked up to him like, yo, that's a dope tracksuit, man. What do you do in New Japan? Because he was just a skinny, like he didn't look like a wrestler, you know. Thought, well, maybe he's production team or U.S. office. I don't know. He goes, no, I don't work for New Japan. So, where'd you get the jumpsuit? He was, oh, I bought it off the website.
Well, word.
I'm like, what? You can buy those now? Just any random willy-nilly jabroni can buy one of these? Like, you had to earn that shit, man. You had to actually be on the team to get one.
Let me know when you're going to wear yours so I can buy mine, and then I can have one on right there.
We'll
Right,
fight. We'll
we'll
fight.
fight on camera.
We'll fight right here, man. We'll fight. That shit broke my heart a little bit, man. But here's something that is factual. This is an absolute fact. The idea for New Japan World, I pitched to President Sugabayashi
Word?
long before it became a reality. I had a meeting with Sugabayashi. He was the president back then. Jado, Gedo, Red Shoes, and Tiger Hattori. And I was telling them, you guys are missing out on a lot of fucking money. You have a huge English-speaking audience in the United States, in England, in Australia. You're not marketing to them. I said, you guys need a website that has an English translation. You're not thinking about your audience outside of Japan. I said, you need to make your product accessible to English-speaking fans outside the country. I said, what you can do is set up like a YouTube page, but in English, aimed at American fans. I said, pick 3 matches a week that you want to highlight, put it on the YouTube channel. I'll help you get 2 Americans to do the voiceover in English for that match, and start feeding your English audience. Give the American audience or the English-speaking audience access to the merch.
Yeah.
I would have gone crazy to buy a fucking, Chono shirt at one point. And you guys are not allowing that. And just to make a point, at the time, there was no Instagram yet, but it was Twitter. And I was very active on Twitter. And I said, if you want New Japan to start promoting products in English, or making matches available in English, or make their merch available, hit up at Sugabayashi-san, whatever.
Oh, okay.
I tagged him. When we're in the meeting, I said, yeah, did you see how many people? And he had he didn't have a very good sense of humor, but with a stoic face, he was like,
Yeah.
almost mad.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's money. All of those people are money. So yes, true story. I invented New Japan World. I pitched that idea to them before it existed.
That's wild.
And I don't know how long it took from the time we talked about it till it actually came to fruition, but I'm the one that suggested that they do that. And when I went to New Japan, because back then, most guys got fired and went to Japan. Not too many guys quit
Right on.
to go to Japan. And we were at the New Japan office doing a press conference. And, I had put on my Twitter and everything, where it was going to be, what time. And I was on. And Abe, he was a guy that worked in the office, real nice guy. Abe came and showed me the numbers for that particular one, were the highest numbers they'd ever had, because you had all these people from the US who were MVP fans that didn't know about this, that were tuning in to see for the first time, or had a curiosity about Jado. So he was like, oh, numbers, I'm telling you guys, you're leaving a lot of money on the table. And, since then they've expanded, now they have New Japan USA, but yeah, that's my New Japan shit.
Right on. To the man who taught us all about the Nakamura knees. I know we had some plans to do some Tokyo Dome business, so I have not gotten a chance to go to Japan yet. But can you tell me, what a night out in Japan? What's that like?
Depends on what kind of person you are.
Debauchery, my friend.
There was a time when I was a younger man.
Yesterday?
I'm young at heart, my friend, young at heart. In moments like this, I'm always reminded of the words of the great young Jeezy.
The poet and scholar.
I remember nights. I can't remember nights. I damn near went crazy, had to get it right. Man, there are nights that I woke up in my hotel room, not remembering how I got that. And I wake up right at the first thing, where's my wallet, where's my watch?
Yeah.
check for the watch, check for the wallet. Okay, I'm good. All right, I made it back with obviously no shenanigans. But this is crazy, man. But when I went over to New Japan, I was single. I was doing very well financially from leaving WWE. I had a good deal with New Japan. All I wanted to do was go out, and I'm a little embarrassed to admit this, but like I didn't. By the time I got to New Japan, I was already a made man. So my desire to work hard wasn't as the fire wasn't burning as strongly as it did before. So I would go out there and I would work. I put my work in. I didn't take no shortcuts. I never, I didn't do nights off. But rather than thinking about how big I want this match to be, I'm thinking about where I'm going afterwards. Like, where's the bar, local broads and local brew. What you drinking? What you fucking? I want to know. And especially when we would have a sponsor afterwards to take us out. Now in Japan, they have what they call sponsors. And these are usually people of means, sometimes wealthy people that have a particular wrestler that they're fond of. And whenever that wrestler's in town, they'll contact beforehand. And the sponsors will invite that wrestler or that group of wrestlers. And a lot of the time they'll ask them, please, invite some of the gaijin, bring some, and the guys will come up and like, MVP, you have some plans for tonight? Like, no, not really. You please call my sponsor? Like, yes, thank you. Thank you for the invitation, And they'll, you usually go to a restaurant. And I remember this shit would trip me out because I had conditioned myself like Pavlov's dog to that first post-match cold beer, that ice cold Sapporo. And we'd all be sitting at the restaurant and they'd always, have somebody, speaking in Japanese, or they'd say like some kind of a toast or, say a few messages, and that I could see the little water dripping off the glass. And I'm just, man, y'all shut the fuck up so I can start drinking this beer. But then at the right time, when, then they kanpai, we all do a toast and shit, and then we can start drinking. So usually we start with, some beer, and then the Japanese guys, they like highball. They like Suntory whiskey with, I think highball Suntory and soda, just clear soda. Highball is what they like. And then usually you drink, you eat well, and then afterwards, sometimes the sponsors will take you to another place to hang out, karaoke, a hostess club, which kind of defies logic in the United States. A hostess club is not a strip club. Like, the women don't take their clothes off. They just hang out with you. It's very expensive. It's just like a flex kind of to show off. But the women are well-dressed, very attractive. And
A lot of clothes on? Like
all
regular?
clothes, regular, yeah.
Okay.
There's no, and they pour your drinks for you. They laugh at your jokes. They light your cigarette.
Hostess club.
Hostess club, yeah. No sex. No hookup.
No champagne room?
No champagne room. It's I don't understand it, but it's something they do over there. And then over in Japan, they still have Japanese only bars.
Okay.
And they're not racist. They're nationalist. Now, you can't be Chinese and go in there. You can't be Korean and go in there. Japanese only. And there was a few times I remember where Gedo was embarrassed, kind of sheepish. Like, okay, MVP-san, maybe now you go back to hotel. No, I want to hang with you guys. And I'm like, MVP-san, next place, Japanese only. I hate, but only. I'm like, oh, okay.
Well, yeah.
Okay, I get it. And I mean, Barry Bonds was over there, and Japan, they love baseball. Like, there are a lot of guys from the major leagues that wash out here or whatever and go to Japan and can still be a top player and earner over there, and do well. But Barry Bonds is a baseball god. And there was a little thing in the news because the place wouldn't let him in. It was like, Barry Bonds can't get in? Oh, I'm toast. But one night in particular, I remember going out and I met up with Eric Hammer and Josh Barnett. I don't remember the name of the club. Crazy that I remember anything. But I remember being with Josh Barnett at this underground club. And I'm in there looking around. And at one moment, this like reality hit me of like, there's skinny, white, blonde-haired, blue-eyed Russian models, like stick-figured, dancing around. There's hot Japanese girls. And over here are like some of the most fearsome fucking K1 fighters in the world, Jerome LeBanner, fucking Boss Rutan. You got killers chilling over here. And then you got some Japanese guys with some fucking $2,000-$3,000 suits on. And you know who those guys are.
10-4.
And I think that's the night. That night is where I met Tokyo Hiro.
Oh, yes.
Shout out to my man Tokyo Hiro, who's done all my Japanese work. And Josh, hey, this is Hiro. Hiro now lives in Orange County, but in his day in Japan, he was by appointment only, and he would do tattoos for rock bands and fighters almost exclusively. If you were on tour and you were a rock band, you want to get a tattoo from Tokyo Hiro. If you were a fighter and you wanted to get Tokyo Hiro's your guy, So I got quite a bit of Tokyo Hiro ink. But yeah, I just remember sitting up in there, and I'm like, Josh Barnett I was a fan of Josh Barnett before I met him, And I'm thinking like, dude, look at my life, man. I'm over here working for New Japan Pro Wrestling. I might have had the title at the time, maybe. And I'm sitting here with like legendary fighters, rubbing elbows with Yakuza and Russian models, Russian hookers. Those lines blur.
Yeah.
And we get out of there, and me and Josh are going back to the corner to get a cab back to the Tokyo Dome Hotel. And all of a sudden, I run in, walking up, and has two ladies with him. Stunning. I think the one chick, I think she was Romanian. Oh my God. Oh, she was gorgeous. Beautiful. And her friend was half Brazilian, half Japanese. Daddy was Japanese, mommy was Brazilian. Oh my God. But as luck would have it, I'm getting ready to go back to the hotel. I'm tired. This is P. Where you going, man? So me and Josh are going back to the hotel, man. He goes, I need you, man. I'm like, what you mean you need me? I need a wingman. I'm like, it's late, man. He goes, nah, bro code, man. You can't leave me hanging, man. It's 4:30 in the morning in Japan, and he's invoking bro code. I can't leave him hanging. I'm like, oh, are you kidding me, man? And Josh is like, see you tomorrow, bro. Josh jumped in the cab and bounced. So this chick, she's gorgeous, but I'm not like, I don't want to go, man. I'm just here to. And I think that's what got me in, because I wasn't drooling over her and showing, I was really kind of disinterested, And I guess, sometimes that takeaway, I call it the takeaway technique. Women don't like rejection, especially when they know they're hot and you just say, yeah, whatever, like, hey, look at me.
Yeah, kept looking at your watch.
Yeah. But that's what got her into me, because she wasn't paying me no mind at first, But the less interest I showed in her, we bounced, to a few little spots and shit,
So this night kept on going?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, motherfuckers be out all night at Roppongi till the trains start running again. You catch the train home in the morning, 6 a.m. Sun's coming up. If you ain't seen the sunrise at Roppongi, you ain't a real pro wrestler. But yeah, at one point we're sitting there in this little after hour spot, And this chick, you know, she's drinking and yapping away and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, yeah, sure, okay, yeah, all right. So I'm chilling with old girl. And she's like, yeah, well, when my friend gets back, I said, your friend ain't coming back. She said, what? I said, your friend left with my friend. They left. She goes, they left? I said, yeah, you didn't see when they left? They're gone. They left. She didn't tell you? She goes, no, she didn't say anything. I said, oh, yeah, they're gone, man. They're going back to the Tokyo Dome Hotel. I said, I'm about to go back to the Tokyo Dome Hotel. You staying here, you coming with me. She was just like, I said, no pressure, but I'm leaving. You can come with me or you can stay here. She was like, okay, I'll come with you. I said, all right, let's go. We hop in the cab, get back to the Tokyo Dome Hotel. She goes in the little mini fridge and pulls out a couple beers, you know, pours them for us and shit. I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, you got your own hostess club in your
Yeah,
room.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And I roll up a Spice joint. Now, if you don't know about Spice, it was this synthetic weed that was going around that I discovered back when WWE was hitting us in the head with the piss test. And it works. But the problem is, I don't know what the active chemical was, but all these companies started to compete for who could make the strongest shit. So some people would smoke Spice and lose their fucking minds.
Yikes. Okay.
Yeah, and it got bad fast, you know. But initially, it was just like smoking weed. Take a few hits and like, oh shit, I'm high. You know? So I know shit's about to go down. You know, it's about to go down. So I roll up the shit, I hit it, and she looks at me and she goes, "What is that?" I said, "It's like hapa. That's what Japanese call weed, slang." And she goes, "I said, you ever smoke weed?" She goes, "No, not really." I said, "Yeah, it just get you high." She goes, "Can I try it?" I'm like, yeah, okay, but just take like one little hit and just, I pass it to her. She takes a little hit. She passes it back. I smoke the joint, you know. Then all of a sudden, she's sitting on the edge of the bed. And she starts doing this.
Shit.
And I'm like, you okay? You okay? Dude, I swear, the next 2 to 3 hours of my life were some of the worst ever.
No.
She's sitting on the bed. She just starts going, no, 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 no. I'm like, no, whoa, hey, what's wrong? What's wrong? She was like, what did you do to me?
Oh.
Why'd you do this to me? I like you. I want to make sex with you. You didn't have to do this to me. I'm like, I didn't do nothing to you. Yeah. And she said, what is this? So I show her the bag. I like, look, I bought it in Shibuya. I showed her the flyer that shows how to get there. I said, this is legal. She's like, I'm calling the police. No,
Oh my God.
no. I got to explain to the Japanese police. That's just a black eye for New Japan. This girl says I did something to her. This big, a black American, this pretty little Japanese Brazilian girl. Like he tried to drug me, and I'm just to explain. Like, no, this is fake weed. I bought it. I'm just the nightmare.
Yeah.
That, and I'm showing like, no, I'm trying to talk to her real soothing. Like, hey, no, and she was like, going up and down on this shit where she like calmed down for a little bit and then she started to freak out again. And like, she got her shoes off and her pants were undone and her like blouse was kind of messed up. And she said, I'm going to the bathroom. I said, all right, go to the bathroom. And I'm sitting there just like, this is exhausting, man. Trying to keep her off the ledge. But the bathroom door doesn't close. My room door closes. Boom. Oh, shit. And I go, and she's in the hall with no shoes on, her pants undone, her blouse looking. And I'm like, man, hey. I'm like, hey, get back here. And I tried to touch her by the arm. No, don't touch me. I'm like, oh, my God.
Oh, said, hey, man, bro.
Your shoes, your purse, they're in the room. You got to get them. So she's, oh, okay. She comes back to the room. I tell the old girl, look, call your friend. Call her. She tries to call. Friend girl ain't picking up.
No.
I'm stuck in this room with this girl who thinks I drugged her, wants to call the police. And finally, dude, Time stood still, man. That was the worst
That
few
is
hours.
crazy, Pete.
I don't know how many hours it took, but it was no less than a couple hours. I was in there with this girl, freaking out over this Spice shit. Finally, I convinced her to call her friend again, and she calls, and the girl answers.
Okay.
And the girl that I was with, she starts crying, but she's smiling with tears of joy. And she's, no, I was worried about you. You left. You didn't tell me anything. I was scared. I didn't know what happened to you. And I'm thinking like, oh, well, damn. You know, okay, I see like her concern. That makes sense. She didn't express that to me, you know. And then once she talked to her girl, she was not coming down off that shit, you know. And she knew her girl was okay. So she relaxed. And she was, no, because, you know, I think maybe your friend took my friend. And maybe I don't know what happened to her. And then you take me. And now I'm feeling like this. And I don't know what's going to happen next. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's a bad trip, man. Yeah, if you put that shit in your head and that's what you're thinking about. And then it made sense when she's telling me, like, I like you. I wanted to have sex with you. You didn't have to drug me. And, bitch, I didn't drug you. Remember, you asked me. I didn't even offer it to you. You asked me for it. And I said, just take one little hit. You took two. You kept, I didn't drug you, you know. But finally, she gets her stuff together. And she gets ready to leave. And I go, hey, man. After all the shit we went through tonight, man, you know, she goes, hey, look, I'm sorry about that, man, you know, but thank you for taking care of me. I'm like, yeah, that's cool, man. Can I at least have your number? And she goes, you want my number?
Yeah, I was about to say, you still trying to collect on the cheeks?
Man, you know how hard I work? I work hard, man. So fortunately, you know, once old girl like had her mind right and she realized that she was safe, she gave me her number and she stayed a little while longer.
Oh.
But now we were okay.
Yeah.
I was like, nah, man, I need some kind of reward at this point. And then, yeah, she, for a little while, became my little sometime random partner. You know, we hang out and go back to the Tokyo Dome Hotel, but she wasn't allowed to smoke no more.
Oh, yeah, no, you're done with this
I
place.
was done. She was done. But, yeah, that was one of my many nights out in Japan.
See, you guys just got a taste of the Patreon. That's a Patreon story.
Yeah, it is a Patreon story. Look, I got more. I got more. Tell you about the chick that took me home and was rushing me out because Papa San was coming. And I'm like,
you were in the crib?
I'm in the fucking high rise.
No,
this girl took me home.
No.
And rushing to get me up. I got to get my shit and get the fuck out because the guy who actually owns the apartment is coming.
Yeah, half-eaten sushi, soda cans. You can't do that, man.
Hey, man, fuck. I was like, I got stories. Those I got. All right. Episode's over.
We've done it again.
Like, comment, subscribe, share.
Make sure y'all share.
Come on, man. Like, our views have grown exponentially, and I want to say thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Like, initially when we first started, it was taking us a month, 6 weeks to hit 100,000 views. Thanks to you guys, we're now hitting 100,000 views. We've surpassed 100,000 views in a week. Now we're doing 200,000 views in a week.
Thank you all.
Yeah, thanks to you. So keep spreading the word, man, for this content. And again, like, comment, subscribe, share, and check out the Patreon. If you're hanging out watching this right now, we got some really cool content on the Patreon. And thanks to Dwayne Swayze's powers of organization and follow through and execution, we over-deliver on the Patreon.
Over-deliver. Guys, the Patreon link is in the pinned comment below. And Patreon subscribers, there are 3 videos that go out per month. We've got a rookie level, we've got a playmaker level, we have a syndicate club level, and a ball and superstar level. Syndicate and higher get 3 videos from MVP every month.
And on that note, one time for Shinichiro Watanabe. If you don't know who that is, look him up. Take us out.
See ya, Space Cowboy.
I just lay back in something new. Whiskey 21 and over, low ball. Make it too neat, Dizzer from Harlem. Yeah, I'm from Houston, off of Fondren. Mike Mazan and real world flow. Plant these seeds in the streets and in weeks, watch it blossom. Dark night, riding on chrome, swinging through Gotham. It's me and P, repaving these roads.